A warm welcome to each one of you. This is the Naomi Talk Show with yours truly, Liz Kenywa. And kama kawaida, I like appreciating every one of you that has chosen to check out our content, subscribed to our channel, and even gone further and remembered to drop a comment and forwarded suggestions to us. We are growing and becoming better because you are helping us to get there. So asanteni sana. I also want to appreciate a special team that is making this work possible, the production crew at One Accord TV. God bless you so much for your effort that you're putting to make sure this work has got the quality that we are getting from you. Asanteni sana. So today we want to look at food. Food manenos, as you can see, the table is set. We are discussing matters to do with food. And as they say, you are what you eat. And then what you eat has a correlation with your reproductive health. That tells you we are talking about women and their reproductive health. So many times when women get into marriage, I think the first or the second thing they think about is getting a baby. But at times there comes across challenges along the way, some that can be addressed through what we put on the table or what we consume. And today we have a nutritionist on set who will help us go through some of the ways and foods that we can adopt to make it easier for us to get to that place of being able to carry babies and even carry them to full term. Let us welcome our nutritionist on set today. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Liz.
Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Kathomi Mutembei. I'm a nutritionist, a certified nutritionist, and a child wellness specialist. I'm also happily married, and I am a mom of 3 babies. And I'm so excited to be on your show today as we talk matters how to make a baby. Thank you.
Yeah, today is how to make a baby and how to keep the baby until full term. Because we are in a time, I think, and a season where we are seeing so much of these challenges of, you know, people struggling even to conceive, people struggling to carry a pregnancy even to full term. Na yote inaanzianga hapa.
Yeah.
Hapa. Where does the challenge first of all begin now that you're the nutritionist in the house?
Yeah, so usually before a woman gets pregnant, it's important for them to prepare their body to carry the pregnancy. The unfortunate thing is that many women find out they are already pregnant several weeks into the pregnancy. So they do not have a chance to prepare their body. So it's important for young women or women who are already thinking one day they'll have a child to have a very healthy lifestyle in terms of what foods they eat, so that always their bodies are ready to carry the pregnancy.
Let me disrupt you. A while back, I think last year, we had a similar discussion and you said what we eat even at the teenage level, even below the teenage level, has an effect on the reproductive health of a woman.
Yes, that is very true. Because you find carrying a pregnancy is a physical issue. So the woman's body must be physically fit to carry the pregnancy. So for young girls, the adolescent girls, when they are growing up or when they are going through adolescence, their bodies are being prepared for that purpose. They are maturing to be one day to be a mother. So when adolescent girls are denied some of these nutrients that prepare their body and enable them to mature, to become biologically able to carry a baby, they will have consequences or challenges later in life when they are trying to have a baby. So there are a lot of, not just even nutrition during adolescence, even the environment, the exposure. We have toxins in the environment that disrupt that process. So it is very important for young girls when they are growing up to be helped, to be supported. And the other thing is because girls are born with their eggs. They are over.
So, so the eggs don't grow as you approach the adolescence phase?
Yes.
You are born with them?
Yes.
So you take care of them from
yes.
when your mother is taking care of you?
Yes, so it starts in the womb. The eggs of the baby girl start forming when they're already forming in their mother's womb. So
Okay.
they are born with their eggs. And these eggs will start maturing when they undergo adolescent. That's when they start the menses. And the quality and the health of that egg will also determine the quality and the health of their baby later in life. And also the ability of that girl to carry pregnancy, to term, to have healthy babies is also determined during that time. So for girls, it's we need a little bit extra care. Not to say that boys do not need. Even boys, they are also during maturity, that the adolescent stage, they are also affected. And there are those things that can happen that will make them not able to sire babies later in life. And most of it is from the food they eat. Yes.
The buck stops here.
Yes.
What is on our tables.
Yes.
And the unfortunate bit is we've embraced a lot of fast foods. Probably you can mention the effect of that. And we're also having, I think, girls, as you mentioned about the girls, we're seeing our time, people would start their menses way in high school. But right now you're having girls in lower school having their flows.
Yes.
Does that have anything to do with what you're saying?
Yes,
We
absolutely.
over prepare the eggs for them by what we present, Amanini.
Yeah, okay. It's because menses is influenced by hormones, and hormones is basically the hormones are also influenced by the diet. So you find these ultra processed foods will trigger the hormonal production early. Because like when we talk about the hormonal disruptors, it's not just from food, it's also from the environment. So one of the things is how our foods are being produced. So when we look at like animal products, the chicken, how are they being bred? The milk we drink, how are the dairy cows being bred? The beef, how are the animals that we slaughter for meat are being bred? And you find a lot of farmers use a lot of hormonal boosters or hormonal substances to quicken the process of these animals to mature. Because no poultry farmer wants to keep a chicken for 8 months for it to mature.
Yeah.
They want to keep it for 6 or a month or 6 weeks or 2 months at most, and then the chicken is big enough and mature to be slaughtered. When we eat that chicken, we also get that effect. You see?
Oh,
The same thing with the milk. The dairy cows, most of the time, they are given those supplements that have the hormonal booster so that they continue producing a lot of milk. So we are exposed to that milk and those effects, the substances in the milk, and it also has a similar effect. So this, and also now we have the agrochemicals, the pesticides, and the weed killers that are used in our food. They are also hormonal disruptors. They are also they influence the hormones in our bodies. For example, the pesticides that are mostly used, what they do is they inhibit the reproductive hormones in the insects, and they produce the estrogen. So the insect will not reproduce as much. So controlling the insect in that way. And now we consume these foods with those pesticides in it, will have also the same effect. It will go and start disrupting our hormones, the reproductive hormones. And that's why you find there are challenges of women not able to conceive.
Yeah.
When they want to conceive, they have really to do a lot of restructuring and detoxing their body for them to reach a point where they are able to conceive. So environment and food plays a key role and a very important role in how our reproductive health is influenced.
so in your area of practice, before hata tuingia hapa,
Yes.
is this a major challenge in the urban setup only, or also at the rural areas they are being affected by the same?
It's across board, although in the urban areas, because the urban people, the people living in urban areas mostly buy their food. They don't produce their own. So it's high. You see it higher in the urban areas. But also in the rural areas, we have a small percentage of the population facing the challenges. Because now you find in the urban areas, most of them are farmers, they are producing their own foods, but also are using the chemicals that are disrupting our bodies. Yes.
Wow, haya, sawa. So the table is all set. We have proteins, we have vegetables, tuko na nyanya, kitunguu, carrot, avocado, mafuta, and everything. where do we begin to prepare our bodies? Okay, sorry. For those that are there, wengine tushapita, to prepare your body to be able to receive that baby.
Okay.
Where do we begin?
So when a woman is preparing to get pregnant or planning to have a baby, so first of all, we start by nourishing the body. Nourishing the body is giving the body the right nutrients the body requires to make a baby. Okay? Because a baby is made. We don't buy babies from
Yes.
a baby is made.
But we always cheat our babies, our children, that babies
that
are
we
bought.
buy.
That lie has to die.
Yes, we make babies, and what we eat is what goes to make the baby. When the baby is forming, they are forming with nutrients. When it's forming the brain cell, the nerve cell, the eye, the heart, all those are nutrients. It's the iron, the vitamin A, the protein, the fat that are going to make those organs. So they must be provided for that baby to be made. Okay, so the woman needs to nourish her body by eating foods that are going to provide all the nutrients. Usually we have 7 nutrients. We have 7 key nutrients that should be provided. One is fats. Fats are very important because they're the best source of energy, and also they go into making the cells. All our body cells are made with fats. And one of the most important fats is what we call the omega-3 and omega-6, because they're the ones that make the brain cell. And yes, and they are needed in very high amounts during pregnancy.
Is that why people from the lakeside produce professors and doctors?
Yes.
That have very high percentage.
Yes, people who consume foods with high essential fats, the omega-3, omega-6, tend to be very bright or have a high intelligence level because of that. Okay, maybe later on I'll explain how the brain is formed and all that. Then the other very important nutrient we need is protein. Again, protein also makes all our body cells. Every body cell that forms has protein in it. Protein also is used to make hormones, to make enzymes, to transport nutrients from one place to another. Then the other one we have is carbohydrate. Carbohydrates is essentially just giving energy. Then the other nutrient we have is vitamins. So vitamins are very key because they enable the body to function and also to utilize other nutrients. Okay. Then we have, I will not mention the many vitamins we have, but the most critical during pregnancy, we have vitamin D, that is very essential for making the bone. And then we have vitamin A, very key in making the eye of the baby and the vision, eye formation, and also the immune cells of the baby. Then we have calcium, that also goes to make the bone of the baby. We have iron. Iron essentially supports the production of the formation of all the body organs, including the brain. And for a pregnant mother, they'll need almost 3 times more protein than us, because they need protein to make enough blood for themselves, for the baby. And this baby should be born with enough iron stores to last them 6 months, because breast milk does not have iron. So the baby should be born with enough iron stores to last them for the 6 months of breastfeeding. So you can imagine the amount of iron that is needed during that point. And then the other one is minerals. Minerals, minerals, we have iron, calcium, we have zinc, very important in the formation of the heart, and also enabling the body to utilize other nutrients. Then the other the other nutrient that we need is water. Water is also...
Plain water?
Yes. Water,
plain.
Not plain water, but water in whatever form. Whether it's coming as plain water, it is in soup, is in juice, but fluids. We also need water, because water helps to maintain a healthy, what we call a healthy homeostasis in the body. Okay, I hope I've mentioned all of them. We have mentioned fats, proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, water. What have I left out? There's another.
We need to write them down.
Yeah, so there should be 7. What have I left out? Fiber. Fiber is also another very key nutrient. Fiber usually helps to maintain gut health. and by supporting the healthy bacteria in the gut. So a pregnant mother needs to have a fiber in their diet because it supports the immunity. Remember, during pregnancy, immunity is low. So the fiber helps the mother to have that, and also helps the mother to avoid or to reduce risk of constipation, because also it's a very common occurrence during pregnancy. Yeah.
So I think I have only noted 4. That is fiber, carbohydrates, vitamins, most of vitamin D, and the other one,
Minerals,
minerals,
iron, zinc, and calcium.
iron, zinc, and calcium.
Then we have proteins,
Proteins,
carbohydrates,
carbohydrates nilikuwa nayo,
fats,
fats,
and water.
H2O.
Yeah, there should be 7.
Okay, there we go. Fiber, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, iron, zinc, calcium, protein, fats, and water.
Yes, okay, the iron, calcium, and zinc are under
Under
minerals.
under minerals.
Yes, they're
okay.
the most important, or the key nutrients that, the key minerals, I mean.
Okay.
Yes, very critical for pregnancy.
Fine.
Yeah. So once once this woman knows this is what she needs now to plan her diet and start consuming. So these 7 nutrients are provided from 8 food groups. Usually we have very many types of foods, but to simplify and to make it simple for a mom or anyone who is not a scientist to understand, we divide the foods into 8 food groups. And we have most of those food groups here.
Yeah.
So the first food group is what we call foods from animal source, any animal product. So maybe I can hold. Yeah. So here we have an example of meat and eggs. Okay. So we have meat, we have eggs, we have milk, we have bones, we have fish, we have organ meats, the liver, the kidney, the matumbo, all those, any food that comes from an animal meat, we call them the animal sourced foods. So those ones is one group. Okay. Then we have group number 2 is what we call the pulses. The pulses, as an example of these grains, we call the beans, all types of your beans. Yeah. We have beans here. So all types of beans, whether they are yellow beans, they are red beans, they are white beans, black beans, all peas are also pulses, green grams, what else have I not? Kamande, the lentils, all those are pulses. So that's also a second group
Source
of
of protein.
foods. Yes. So then the third one, usually we have leafy green vegetables like this. Leafy green vegetables, they can be dark green, they can be just green. Any leafy. Leafy means it has a leaf and it's green or dark green. That is also another category of food, the third one. Then the other one we have is...
At this point, let me ask. We have the habit of, in the urban setup, preparing our vegetables, storing them in the freezer for like a week or 2. Does that contribute to the loss of nutrients in the vegetables? Ama we have to buy, and you know the way we do it in the village, juu hakuna fridge ushago.
Yeah.
Ni unanunua, unakatakata, ama unachuna, unakatakata,
Yeah.
unapika.
Yeah.
Which one is the best that retains the highest level of nutrients in them?
Okay, so for green leafy vegetables, you can have them frozen for, if you have a deep freezer, they can last even for 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also have them dried. You can dry them. And usually for the green leafy vegetables, the nutrients that we get from the leafy vegetables are not lost during cooking, freezing, or drying.
Okay.
So if you dry your vegetables within the last 2 months, you still have the nutrients, because the main nutrients we get from these are iron, zinc, and vitamin A, okay, and what we call the folate, the vitamin B9. So usually they are not easily lost. And again, I usually tell mothers, you not rely on that. Usually for storing, food storage, you store it for convenience purposes or because you have a lot of them, so you're storing them. So it doesn't mean you're not, there's no time you go and buy fresh vegetables. Okay, so it is okay to freeze them, it's okay to dry them.
Okay.
Yes. Then the other category is what we call brightly colored vegetables and fruits. Like what we have here, we have a carrot, which is a brightly colored vegetable. We have a tomato. These are brightly colored vegetables. We have pumpkins in this. We have melon. We have pawpaws. All these brightly colored vegetables and fruits that are either yellow, orange, or red in color. Okay. Berries are also brightly colored vegetables like strawberries, mulberries, raspberries, all those berries, even the wild berries we eat in the rural areas. All those are under this.
So watermelon is a vegetable?
It's a fruit.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that group is basically covers vegetables and fruits that are brightly colored. Okay. They're either in yellow in color, like a pawpaw, a melon, a mango, an orange,
sweet melon.
A sweet melon. Sweet melon is what color?
It's yellowish.
It's yellow. Yeah, if it's yellow, orange, red, brightly colored. Yeah, berries like strawberries are red. All those are in that category. That category is very key because it provides what we call beta carotene, which is the best source of vitamin E for pregnant mothers. Because pregnant mothers, it's not good for them to eat already activated vitamin A. Okay, so when you give them that, they benefit from it. And the body will convert the beta carotene into vitamin A, and the mother will have enough of what they need. Because if you give an already activated vitamin A to a pregnant mother, you can easily, it can easily bring congenital malformations or toxicity to the mother.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the best source for pregnant mothers. Then the other category is what we call now other vegetables and fruits.
Hapo kwa colored vegetables and fruits, there's a fruit that is gaining popularity called the thorn. It's not thorns. It's called what? It's very red in color. It's costing close to 350 shillings.
Dragon fruit.
A dragon fruit.
Okay.
Iko kwa hii category?
Yeah, dragon fruit. Yeah, any brightly colored fruits, even if you don't know the name, even the wild ones, they fall in that category.
Okay.
Yes. Then now we have all other fruit and vegetables that do not fall in this category. So you have your cabbages, you have your onions, this one, you have your onions there, you have your cabbage there, you have your cucumber, your broccoli, your cauliflower, you have your pineapples, you have your apples, you have your, I think sugarcane is a vegetable. So all the other vegetables will fall into the other vegetables. We call them just other vegetables and fruit because now we have leafy green vegetables and brightly colored fruit and vegetables. So the rest fall in one category, other vegetables and fruits. Okay. Avocado is also in that other vegetables and fruits. Okay. Then the next category is what we call the roots, the tubers, and the cereals, or the grains. Grains are basically our cereals. Like this is maize flour, is made from maize, so this falls there into the grains, roots, and tubers. Your potatoes, your green bananas, your sweet potatoes, your arrowroots, your cassava, your yams, all of them will fall into that category. It's just one category. Basically, they give us carbohydrates. It's a good source of carbohydrates. Okay. Then now we have the other one, the seventh one. I hope those are 6. The seventh one is what we call nuts, seeds. So these are peanuts, groundnuts fall into that category. And also their product, like this one is a seed oil. It is in that category. That is where you get your cashew nuts, you get your macadamia nuts, you get your pumpkin seeds, your chia seeds, your fenugreek seeds, hazelnuts, Brazil nuts, all those nuts you find in the shops or in the supermarket, all types of nuts, coconut, all of them fall into that category, nuts and seeds, okay? These ones are very good source of fats, especially healthy fats, the essential fats. And if you have to use like this processed oil, usually advise always go for what is called cold pressed oil. If it is a seed oil, the best is cold pressed oil, because most of the seed oils we find in our market are industrial seed oils. Industrial seed oils, basically the oil has been extracted from the nuts or from the seeds using a lot of chemicals. And those chemicals are also known to be toxic to our bodies. So prolonged use of those seed oils will bring issues later in life. And we do not want to expose the forming baby or even the pregnant mother to some of those toxins. So if a mother has to use the oil, I always advise them use the cold pressed oil, or just eat the nuts as it is, eat the seeds as they are. Yes.
Okay.
Then the last one is what we call spices and herbs. So spices and herbs.
Ukisema herbs sasa hapo tuta take notes mpaka next year. That's what we want to
Yeah.
hear most.
Yeah, like ginger, garlic. We have many other herbs and spices, like we usually have rosemary, lemongrass, cinnamon, all those spices we use. They're also good. They not only make our food spicy or add flavor to our food, they're also very good in other nutrients, like they have immune boosting nutrients, or what we call immune boosting compounds. Okay, so 7 nutrients, we get them from the 8 food groups. So I'm sure the question will be now, how do we eat all these foods at once? Usually when you're doing diet planning, the best way is to make sure every day you eat at least 5 out of those 8 food groups.
Okay.
If you're able to eat the 8 of them, that's the best. But to ensure that you get the 7 nutrients adequately, you should eat at least 5 out of the 8 food groups in a day. Yes.
Okay. So here we have spices and herbs. Kuna mtu anasema zinamchoma pengine. And there are people who will avoid them completely, because once, I think pregnancy comes with its own complications.
Yeah.
Someone else probably sees the avocados and they start throwing up. Someone sees the nuts and they can't stomach. So then 5 out of 8. I'm still stuck there.
Yeah. So that's why now it's very important, before someone gets pregnant, they have nourished their body. Because many women in the first trimester are not able to eat. They have food aversions, they have the morning sickness.
I get it.
Yeah, they have the morning sickness, the nausea, the vomiting, and smell aversions. Some just dislike foods. Even not just, there are those who also get those feelings throughout the pregnancy. There is someone who will not stand meat throughout their pregnancy. Someone else will hate potatoes throughout their pregnancy. There are those just the first pregnancy, and there are those who have no problem at all. They are able to eat everything they want.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So that's why it's very important, because no one knows. You will not know until you get pregnant. And just because your firstborn, you are okay with your firstborn, doesn't mean your secondborn you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So pregnancy, every pregnancy comes with its own challenges. So I always advise mothers, prepare your body for pregnancy, especially before you get pregnant. Nourish your body, so that when you get pregnant and you're unable to eat, or you have those food aversions, your body is already nourished. Yeah, because during the first trimester, that's when the baby's organs are formed. Everything. So the blueprint, what we call the DNA, the blueprint is set up in there, like the foundation of how that baby will continue forming. So if there is an error during the first trimester, that error will continue until the baby is born. So if the finger did not form properly, or the heart doesn't form properly, that mistake will, or that error will persist. And that's why now you find babies being born with malformed body organs. The heart did not close properly, the eye did not form well, there is a deformity in this finger, in this leg, such of those things, because most of the time it's lack of the adequate nutrition. And also the other thing, not just but eating, but also cleaning your body, detoxifying the body.
Yes, that's what we also want to hear.
Yes. Prepare the body by detoxifying, because like in this modern world, we have really been exposed to a lot of toxins. When you're going to work on the road, you breathe in a lot of industrial pollution in our air. Like Nairobi has one of the most polluted air.
Yeah.
All those toxins are getting into our body. Okay? Our food is also, as I said, grown with a lot of chemicals. So I advise mothers, when you're preparing to get pregnant and you're pregnant, go for what we call organic foods. Those are foods that have been grown without chemicals. Try as much as possible to reduce the chemically grown foods. And also go for natural foods, the whole foods. Avoid a lot of the ultra-processed foods. If it is a ginger, just buy the ginger and cook it instead of buying the processed ginger.
The powdered one.
Yes, the one that has been processed and put in a tin with a preservative and such. If it is, for example, oil, fats, just eat the fats in the meat. They are healthier than the margarine and these other ones we will add to the food. Yeah. If it is the eggs, go for free-range eggs.
Kienyeji eggs.
Yes.
And they're hard to find.
Yeah. They are hard
Especially
to find.
in the urban setup.
Yes. But now they are the best. But eat what you have. It's better to eat what you have in your environment than not to eat at all. But always with that knowledge, you can always strive to find healthier food options because they're there. Okay. Then then the other thing, when now you eat your organic foods, also be mindful of what you apply on your body.
Apply.
Yes,
Ooh,
what you use on your body.
Okay.
Right now we have this craze of beauty that you must use so many things on your face, so many things on your body to have your skin smooth, to have your skin.
Koja, makeup is a big deal these days.
Makeup, yeah.
Unaanza na toner, sijui unaenda cleanser, sijui unaenda kuna foundation, sorry, I am not an expert in that field, but you find like it takes, if you have to be done makeup, it takes almost an hour. And there are people who have to do that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
They have mastered the skill, so they don't need anybody around them. So you're saying that also has an effect?
Yes, it can have an effect.
Oh.
Yes, so for those women who use heavy makeup, reduce it when you're preparing to get pregnant or when you're pregnant. Because those cosmetics come with toxins, and most of those toxins are hormonal disruptors. Okay? Then also our environment. You find nowadays in our house, we are using a lot of substances to clean up and make our houses look nice, smell nice. So there's fragrance for the toilet, for the sitting room. There's fragrance in the car. There is a lot of perfumes, and also the things, antiseptics that we use on the services. All those are chemicals that we expose ourselves to that can have a negative impact on our reproductive health. And most of them have been known to be hormonal disruptors. So you find they can affect how fast you get pregnant and also how well you carry the pregnancy.
But kama unapenda makeup, do you think you can survive without makeup? That's a good question. Kwa sababu kuna watu wenye, I had someone say they have to wake up very early before their husband wakes up to go and do makeup. And they have to wait for their husband to go to bed so that they can remove their makeup. And I'm wondering, how do you even survive? Anyway, it's not my field, it's not my specialization. So you've said to prepare, we have to detox.
Yes.
And avoid those very strong scented deodorants and the perfumes and the makeup and all those.
Yeah, those fragrances.
Yes. Ingine. Kuna ingine?
Yes. The other one is they also need to adopt a physical exercise. Physical exercise is very important before and during pregnancy because it helps the body to function well, utilizing the nutrients, relaxing, mental health, and preparing the body, just strengthening the body and building that stamina, because carrying a pregnancy is not that easy.
Yes.
So being physically active and not going to the gym and lifting those heavy weights, it's just simple like walking, walking like 30-minute walk in a day, swimming, those pregnancy safe exercises. It's very encouraged so that your body is also strong and have the stamina to carry the pregnancy. There is good, wellness in terms of mental health, in terms of even how you're prepared to get the baby. Yeah.
Good. Detox. Avoid those very strong scented perfumes and lotions and makeup. Physical exercise. Aya ingine.
Yeah. Those are the basic. Okay, I started with the nourishing. You
Yes.
nourish your body, clean your body by detoxing and
Yes.
avoiding all those things that can expose yourself to toxins, and then do some physical exercise. Yes.
So how long should one detox before they panic and now go see a gyna? Because I think those phases, they follow each other.
Yeah.
You panic, you run to see a gyna, the gyna tells you, no, you go and relax. And you're wondering, what are you saying? I relax, like how?
Okay, it depends from one woman to another. There are those within a month they get pregnant, but for those who are really struggling to get pregnant, usually the doctor sends you to do tests, and if you have what we call viable eggs, the follicles, the viable eggs, it will just be a matter of time. So once you do, you nourish your body, because most of the time, if the eggs are okay and you're not conceiving, it's because maybe there is a lack of nutrient in there, or there's an hormonal imbalance. And once that is fixed, the woman is able to conceive. Unless now it's a problem of there's a medical issue, like the womb is not physically fit to carry the pregnancy, or there's an issue of hormones to produce the eggs, because there are women who have issues with producing the viable egg to get fertilized. There is that issue. So that's more of a medical issue, and you need more help from a doctor.
Yes.
But if there's follicles, the eggs are okay, it's just the egg is not forming the right embryo. I encourage them, don't give up. It can take a year for you to conceive. It can take a few months, depending on the woman's body and the environment. There are women, once they fix the environment, they're able to get a baby.
So remove the perfumes,
Yes.
remove all those. Sasa tutaosha nyumba na maji plain.
Yes. And that is why also I think nature also prepares a lot of us women. When a woman gets pregnant, they get smell aversions.
Yes.
They cannot stand. It's just nature's way of protecting that baby. You cannot stand those strong smells. You cannot stand some environment. Yeah. So it's nature's way of protecting us when a woman reacts like that. So it's the same way. There are those women who are okay with everything, but doesn't mean because their body is not reacting, they should stay in such an environment. It's always important to clean up the environment, fix your diet, and just prepare your body physically and mentally to carry pregnancy. Yes.
And the mental has to do a lot with the whole
Yes.
process.
Mental health is very key during pregnancy. And that is why...
Even before, I think.
Yes, even before. A woman should be ready. And nowadays I'm advising young women, just know what it takes to have a baby. Because it's not just automatic, you get pregnant and the baby is here. Prepare yourself to know what pregnancy is, what having a baby really means. I've been dealing with mothers who even holding a baby and breastfeed them is a challenge, because you find most of this generation of young mothers have never had a chance to take care of a small baby. Their first baby is the first child they are taking care of in their life. So they don't know. They don't even know how to dress the baby. They don't know the baby needs to be wrapped in warm clothes. You know, we assume these things are automatic, people know. But there are women their mothers have interacted with. They don't know. Even going shopping, they don't know what they're supposed to buy. Yeah? So they have to ask, what is this for? What is this for? You see? And they have to be shown. And they have to be educated how to take care of a baby. So it's very important before one gets pregnant, it's very important for them to know what it takes. Because we have a lot of postpartum depression, because when the reality hits,
Yeah.
depression will come in. And then if this woman doesn't have a support system,
Yes.
it becomes worse. Yes. And it will harm the woman and harm the baby. Yes.
Well, so we are preparing to prepare the womb to carry the baby. You detox, you avoid those strong scents, you exercise, of course, physical exercise. That is preparing for to be pregnant.
Yes.
Now, what do you do, or how do you take care of that pregnancy now to carry it to full term?
Okay, congratulations, now we are pregnant.
Yes, we are now pregnant.
You found the two lines, the two red lines of the pregnancy kit. Now the journey has begun.
Yes.
Of making a baby. So one thing you need to do is visit the antenatal clinic. Go see a midwife, go see a gynecologist, or just visit an antenatal clinic of your choice and start the clinic. Usually in the clinic, they monitor how the baby is growing and also yourself, your health, the health of the mother. Then at the antenatal clinic, you'll be given prenatal vitamins and minerals, what we call prenatal supplements. It's a law in Kenya that every pregnant woman should be given prenatal vitamins that contain...
It is a law.
Yes.
Underline that.
It's a law. It's mandatory for the pregnant woman to be given prenatal vitamins that contain iron and folic acid.
In public and also in private?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you see a midwife, you see a gynecologist, they will prescribe those for you. And you're supposed to take them until the end. Okay. And the reason is because a woman might say, I've seen very women saying, but I'm eating healthy, I'm eating vegetables and meats. Why must I take the supplements? Remember what I said. During many women, when they get pregnant, they get the food aversions. So they may not be able to eat the foods that provide those nutrients. Number two, the amount of iron and folic acid required during pregnancy is so high that it is very unlikely the homemade food might provide. And when the government comes with some of these policies, it's because there is data supporting. Yeah, I'm sure all of us here, I'm sure you've heard of a child who needs surgery because their heart has a hole. That is what the one that we know very common. Or you've had a baby who has been born with their backbone open, not closed. Or a baby whose head is so huge, it did not, the brain, when the brain was closed, the skull was closing up, there was a problem. All that is lack of these nutrients, the folic acid and the iron. Okay, so it's required in very high amount. The other one, the reason is this woman requires a lot of iron to make enough blood for herself and the baby. In some recent time, we had a case of, I think it was the first case in Kenya to have a baby undergo blood transfusion when they're still in their mother's womb.
You are in the womb and you have
the baby,
transfusion.
Yes, there was such a thing in the news. You see? And then look at also the statistics of maternal mortality and what is killing these mothers. You find it's bleeding, what we call postpartum hemorrhage. And a woman who does not have enough iron is likely to die because they do not form enough blood. Yeah, they do not, because during pregnancy, during childbirth, whether it's CS or whether it's normal, a woman sheds blood.
Yes.
So you need enough to shed, enough to remain for yourself, and enough for the baby, and also enough for the baby to last 6 months. So you can imagine the volume. It's a huge burden that diet alone may not provide. The other thing is, even when a woman is able to eat all those foods, we know challenges of the amount of food you can eat when you're pregnant. Yeah, with time, it's the amount you're not able to eat a lot of food. The other thing is even the quality of the meat and the vegetables we will be eating. For example, someone challenged me about the vegetables. These vegetables we eat nowadays are not the same as what our grandparents ate.
Very true, because even skuma, the taste has totally changed.
Yes.
For lovers of skuma wiki like me.
So most of the vegetables are genetically engineered, or they have been engineered so much so that they grow at very short time. And also they don't stay on the ground for long for them to accumulate the nutrients. So this terere here, I can bet it's only 3 weeks on the ground.
Probably.
Yeah, and it's plucked. So it was not given enough time to accumulate the minerals from the soil. So you cannot compare that with what our grandmothers used to, because they used to pick leaves from the bushes.
Yes,
So
yes.
those bushes are always there, years and years. So those vegetables have accumulated a lot of the minerals from the soil compared to what you're eating now. Yeah. So that's all those are things that have informed why it's important and it's very key for pregnant mothers to have the prenatal vitamins.
Yes.
Because of all those issues. Yeah. So during pregnancy, that is when you eat, you continue eating the 5 at least. If you're able to eat all the 8 in a day, fine. But if you're not able, at least eat 5 out of the 8 food groups. Then take your prenatal vitamins. Continue with your light exercises, the pregnancy safe exercises, and always go for antenatal care. And then the other thing about during pregnancy is start talking to your baby. The moment you start, you know you are pregnant, start talking to your baby. Touch your baby, sing a song, read a book, start connecting with that baby.
In the stomach?
Yes, in the womb. That is very important because it stimulates your baby's brain growth.
Oh.
What many people do not know is...
Oh, I get it.
Yes.
No wonder when you start seeing they limp a bit, you can feel some movement.
By the third trimester, the baby's hearing, the baby's sense of touch is fully developed.
So at what trimester do we begin this talking and singing?
Immediately you know you're pregnant, start talking so that by the baby grows hearing you talking to them. Yeah, hearing.
And it helps with the brain development.
Touch them. And especially during the third trimester, babies also start hearing what is outside the womb. They are born knowing their father's sound, their siblings' voice. And even if you're keen during the third trimester, I've been pregnant 3 times, so I'm talking from experience. And yeah, so during the third trimester, the baby is able to hear and feel what's outside. If you go outside in hot sun and you expose your belly to the hot sun, the baby will respond.
Oh.
Yeah. If you touch your baby, the baby will respond. If you bang something very loudly, the baby will respond. You hear they have...
Sufuria ikianguka kitchen?
Yes, wameshtuka. You will hear. If you flush the toilet, you bang the door, yeah, the phone rings and vibrating and you're near, the baby will respond. So you're already preparing your baby's cognitive development from the womb. And research has shown, actually that research was done in Kenya, that those babies who are stimulated from the womb, when they go to school, they have a higher intelligence than those who did not. So it's for your baby's stimulation of the brain. Okay? Yeah. So that is basically during pregnancy, what the mother should do. Eat your healthy food. We don't talk about balanced diet when you're making a baby. It can be very balanced, but it's not providing the adequate nutrition. So eat the 8 food groups every day, at least a minimum of 5 out of the 8, and vary your diet. Don't be eating beans, yellow beans every day. Today eat yellow beans, the following day eat red beans, eat white beans, eat kamande. Just eat all types of pulses. If you eat meat, we have so many types of meat. If you eat pork today, you can eat beef, you can eat goat, sheep. We have chicken, we have duck, we have turkey. We have fish, we have omena, we have very many types of fish. As in, diversify your diet. Yeah? The same with eggs. We have duck eggs, we have chicken eggs, and all that. The same thing with vegetables. Don't eat the same vegetable every day. Diversify your diet. If today you eat terere, the other day eat managu, eat skuma, eat spinach, eat morenda, like that. Diversify. The same thing with the brightly colored vegetables. If you have carrots today, have pumpkin the following day. Have pawpaw, have your melon, have your mangoes, like that. Just diversify your diet. Don't repeat the same foods. so much. If it's nut, we have so many types of nut. We have so many types of seeds. We have so many cereals. We have so many. You don't eat ugali every other time. We have ugali, we have chapati, we have rice, we have millet, we have sorghum, we have potatoes, we have bananas, we have cassava. We have, so in 10 days, don't repeat the same food.
So should we have you back here again to help us with meal plan preparation?
Diet, yes. Dietary
Because
planning is very key. If you do a 10 diet
that's
plan.
a huge struggle, not
Yes.
even for pregnant mothers, for any woman.
For any woman.
Kuna headache inakujanga ya 2 p.m. inaitangwa tutapika nini? For most women.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have a proper meal plan to go through. So probably next, because I'm sure that is quite intense and thorough. If for 2 weeks sitarudia hii chakula, kuna venye.
I always encourage diet planning because it helps you to prepare. Yeah.
Question. Sometimes back, I think I hosted some first-time moms, and one of the challenges that came up was that when they were pregnant, one of them was bleeding, had bleeding gums nearly every morning. And she mentioned that even her friend, who was also expecting twins, alikuwa anaamka anapata kucha iko kwa kitanda, imeng'oka. Okay? So how do you manage that from here?
Now, that is also a sign of a deficiency. If when you're pregnant, when the body is pregnant, if it does not get the foods, I mean the nutrient from the foods, it will look elsewhere in the body where to look.
To remove. So it
Yes.
removes from the teeth?
Yes, that's why pregnant women lose teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you hear women saying, this one went with the firstborn, this one is the secondborn. It's because you did not provide enough calcium.
So the many
body,
babies you have, your teeth continue going?
Yes,
I
because
beg.
you're not providing. Because nature and child formation is very programmed.
Yeah.
When you talk about a baby is formed from conception to 5 years. That's what a baby is. And that's the foundation of whatever adult you will have later in life. So if you don't give enough to form that organ, it will not form. Yeah, it will not form. From where? So if the body lacks completely, it will not form. That's why you have a baby born missing or having incomplete or malformed parts. If you interfere, a toxin, a heavy metal interfered with that formation, you have an error. That's how, because nature is programmed, you don't delay. Because when a baby is forming, they form millions of cells per second every day. So if today you needed vitamin A, for example, 400 grams IU of vitamin A or protein, and you didn't provide, it will continue. You cannot come later and now say, oh, yesterday I didn't provide, so today I've provided, so it will compensate for yesterday. It doesn't happen. That's why we usually have issues with underweight, stunting, poor cognitive development. If after the baby's brain forms up to 2 years. So if after 2 years you come and find, oh, the baby did not form brain properly, let me now give the iron and the omega-3. It will not compensate.
Late.
You're late.
What?
Yeah. So that's what it does. So the ones losing the fingers, the nails, the teeth, sometimes you find the
Hair,
bleeding.
even hair loss.
During pregnancy, you should not lose hair.
Oh.
You should even have more hair.
hair.
Yes, because now the pregnancy hormones are very hair friendly and nail friendly, teeth, all that, because the body is at affinity for absorbing nutrient from foods and from the supplements. So you should have, even the skin should glow during pregnancy because at that time the body is absorbing a lot of that. But okay, there are those who react differently because there are people who get acne when they have pregnancy because of the hormone response. But usually during pregnancy, you should not be losing. You should even have better because that's when your body has a high affinity of absorbing nutrients.
So how can we help this mother? Okay, she gave birth, but probably there might be another one who is dropping their nails in the morning. When they wake up, they realize, sina kucha moja. After another week, sina kakucha kengine. what do they need to do?
The food.
Come here
Yes.
and
Take
eat
your,
well.
Yes.
Hapa tumesema the rule 5 out of 8
Yes.
from the food group.
Yes, and take your prenatal vitamins.
Oh yes. And your prenatal vitamins, that is important. Wow. Your closing remarks as we wind up.
My closing remark is, I always say a baby is made, and how you make a baby is determined by two things: the food you eat and the environment you're in. Environment in terms of toxins, in terms of also the stress levels. So it's very important for a woman to take care of those two. And before you get pregnant, prepare your body. There's a reason why science and even faith, religion, tells us that babies or young girls should not get pregnant, should not get babies.
Yes.
Because a baby is a liability. So before you get a baby, no. It breaks my heart when I see a young mother with a child they cannot feed,
Yes.
with a child they cannot fend for, or a woman with children, 4 children, and they cannot fend for those children. Sometimes I don't. It's rude. It looks like rude to ask, why did you get the 4 and you can't take care of them? But look at it in reality. Taking care of a child in this day and time is a lot of effort. So get a child because you want one, you can have one, and you can take care of one, and you're ready to take care of one. Because it's not just even about feeding the baby, even being present for that child, being there for that child. And a human being, unlike other animals, when you look at all the mammals and other animals, they only take care of their young ones for a short period of time, and then they're able to fend for themselves. Because all the other animals, no child goes to school. It's only the human baby that has to go to school and has to stock. So you must be prepared to know. For the next 25 or so years, that child is going to be dependent with you. If you compare yourself with our nearest cousin is gorilla. In 25 years, the gorilla will have 10 kids. All independent.
Did you call a gorilla my cousin?
Yes. It's our nearest in nature. Our nearest
Okay.
in nature.
We agree.
Yeah. When you're struggling with the one kid for 25 years because you're providing for school, for shelter, for all for basic needs, the gorilla's child, in 4 or 5 years' time, they're independent. Now they can take care of themselves. So gorilla will have 5 kids, all independent. You still have your 1, 2, 3
And
in 25 years, still dependent on you. So it's very important for women and young girls and mothers to know that. So a child is not just because you're married or because you want a child you just get. Look at it long term. It's a 25-year liability. Someone taking from you, not just money, but also spiritual and mental, because you have to train that child.
Exactly.
And be present. And if you fail, consequences are there.
Hey, okay. I hope you are learning many things to take home. But for me, I think the biggest is you have to talk to that baby while they're in your stomach. And she has disapproved a quote that we usually have around that says, kila mtoto anakuja na sahani yake, but from what she's saying, that plate comes empty. It is your responsibility to make sure it has something on it. So make your calculations as you prepare yourself. When we are talking about preparation, she said, remember to detox, remember, to don't apply those very strong scented perfumes, physical exercise, and of course, it is also important to make your calculations. Be prepared emotionally, psychologically, and even physically to bring forth that human being into the face of the earth. Otherwise, we want to end it there and hope to see you next time. God bless you. See you.